Welcome to Women's Wrestling Fan Awards 2019!
Yay!
Welcome to Ring the Bell, this is DS.
And Paloma Star, the Sriracha Muchacha.
And to help us with the awards, we brought this glamorous lady right here, Sarah Shockey!
Yay!
Thank you so much for having me. It's an award show, this is big news, black tie affair. Or, in this case, sparkling bow tie affair.
This year, we're hosting Women's Wrestling Fan Awards with Squared Circle Sirens. They're one of my favorite women's wrestling news websites. They currently have the votes open for this award show. Here, we're going to talk about the official nominations.
Yay, fancy.
This time around, Square Circle Siren editorial team picked 4 nominations for each categories, so already being in this nominations, that's like a pretty big deal, I'll say.
Yeah.
In my high school, the first round of homecoming nominations was done by the teachers, and I always got nominated for that round and then never made it to the second round.
Big deal.
At least you made it.
Yeah.
Right?
She
You were
doesn't cause any
nominated.
problems. She never seems to be dating anyone. Yeah, safe bet.
Just coming with this 4 nominations was, I heard, very, very difficult process. So we're gonna go through the nominations and see what we think about it. So let's start from the best entrance theme.
I feel like we should have envelopes. I know that's whenever you announce the winner.
I feel like that your wallet would work. Oh, that's your phone case. Just
Yeah.
flip it open as though you read something. And then,
I see that.
Best entrance theme, we have
Bianca Belair.
Mia Yim.
Rhea Ripley.
And the boss, Sasha Banks.
The moment we said Rhea Ripley, I was like, this is the brutality!
It was so hard for me not to do it.
We're like second away from saying that. Also, Sasha Banks.
Bop, bop, ba-da-ba-da.
What?
I was singing Lacey Evans' theme.
Yeah.
You know, that famous theme, I'm the boss, and here I come. Now, that's when they tag team.
Oh, got it.
Sasha Banks is like,
Of course, Bianca Belair is one, so good. My Korean sister. So this is gonna be a really tough. Yeah, I know. Next category is most improved.
Britt Baker.
Dana Brooke, the opportunity.
Hyan.
Zia Lee.
I gotta put in a shout out to my dear friend Dana Brooke, who I met 2 weeks ago.
You
and
met her?
Yeah,
Oh
and
my
now I
God.
hold her very dearly in my heart forever. Dolph Ziggler did a stand-up show.
Oh,
And
got it.
they did a panel at the end, and she came up, and I remember everything she said. She was so funny and so good.
Oh my
That's
god.
awesome.
Yeah.
Zia Lee, her Instagram.
Her Instagram is fire. Oh my gosh. Also, I really like that every time she posts a picture, she hashtag spicy. So, you know, spicy, sriracha muchacha.
Yeah.
Of course, Britt Baker watched War Games with me.
Did you do the Britt Baker challenge?
That's Adam Cole's girlfriend.
So Hyan is actually based from Texas originally. Sarah is the one who broke the news to me. She recently just moved here to Chicago.
Oh!
I set her up with the Welcome to Chicago friendship contract. She is debuting in AAW in
Ooh.
January, so keep eyes out for Hyan.
I
She
will.
trained at Booker T school.
Let's go to the next category, most underused.
Dana Brooke,
Killer Kelly.
Liv Morgan.
Sonia Deville.
This is always a very, very tough category.
It is.
Because everyone's looking to get that opportunity.
You could argue that anyone in the world is underused. Everybody's got potential, and if
Totally.
booked this way or that way
Yeah.
or this and that, you know.
Corey Graves was saying that Charlotte Flair is underused lately.
Charlotte Flair has never felt less important than she does right now.
So
Corey Graves says a lot of stuff.
He sure does.
I was like, what the hell? Let's go to the next category, the Rookie of the Year.
Elena Black
Kenzie Paige Henry.
Queen Aminata.
and Roxy. There's a lot of good rookies here. By the way, Elena Black, I just saw her yesterday, and she just posted today that today's her 1-year anniversary.
One.
1 year. And this girl has been making waves. You see her name everywhere. And she's only 18.
18
Oh my
years
God.
old.
Blows my mind.
And such a professional,
So
so
professional.
pleasant backstage, so nice, so sweet. And also ringside for Scorpio Sky and Chris Jericho's match. With
I
a
saw
little,
that.
like,
Oh.
hi.
Queen Aminata was that famous jobber from SmackDown match against Kabuki Warriors, I think.
Yeah.
She got a lot of attention from that one match. She wrestles for Rice.
Yeah.
And she's actually currently in Japan right now.
Oh.
I've wrestled her plenty of times, and she actually just challenged me for my War Women's Championship belt. So let's go.
I love how it's like she's nominated in this category, but no funny business.
Right,
We
let's
will
go.
fight.
Moving on to the next category, the biggest news story.
This just in, Ring of Honor fires Kelly Klein.
The New Japan owner acquires Stardom.
Scarlett Bordeaux signs with WWE.
And Victoria retires from wrestling.
Well, I was really excited when Scarlett signed with WWE because
She's your bestie.
I know her. It was one of those things though where you watch someone's journey, and when I came into wrestling, I feel like I started seeing her a couple places, and then when you kind of parallel along, it's the same as watching your career. Like, you root for someone because you see them, you spend time with them, and then it's like, yeah, WWE, that's like something you can take home to your parents and your family and they'll understand it, as opposed to being like, I booked an improv show in a black box theater in the outskirts of Chicago. It's harder for them to understand.
I also do like it's not just all like WWE or just one side of like women's wrestling. It covers a little bit of all like really worldwide women's wrestling.
True. I mean, the first two news is affecting the grand scheme of the scene outside of WWE and AEW. And of course, Victoria retiring. Hall of Fame. Gotta come very soon. Yeah. Let's go to the biggest shock.
That's me, Sarah Shockey. I'm huge.
This is the Sarah Shockey Award, the biggest shock. Awesome Kong debuts in AEW.
Bailey turns heel.
Trish Stratus returns to face Charlotte Flair.
And women main eventing WrestleMania.
Ooh, man, there's a lot of hard hitters in this one.
That's a tough one.
Now, I think for a lot of the children in the world, Bailey turning heel, as evidenced by a lot of video clips, tears, crying, that was a big shock. I know multiple children that I spoke to directly who were like, I was on board, and then when she said that life doesn't matter, I had to say, no thank you. And then I went to my room and cried for 30 minutes.
I guess for millennials, Trish Stratus is returning to have that match, Queen versus Queen with Charlotte Flair. That was a huge news.
It was, yeah.
Did you specifically like that one?
I loved it. I was losing my shit.
Trish.
Trish is like the only person who had like two perfect happily ever after retirement.
Yeah.
Like, when does that ever happen in wrestling?
Most people don't even get one.
Yeah, I know. Justice for Lita. Let's get that going.
Yes. JFL. Some people know it as Just for Laughs. We know it as Justice for Lita.
Next category, the best ring gear. Who's a fashionista?
Woo!
So Bianca Belair.
Who I think makes her own ring gear.
I think she designs, yeah.
Gotta shout it out for the creators. Also Naomi.
Sasha Banks.
Taya Valkyrie. Ooh.
I feel like if you put a stage show together with all four of them, it would be like an outstanding Vegas residency. Like, just like, oh, are you going to see the girls in the gear? Yes.
I love it. I'm there, front row.
Yeah, this one's tough. So I'm really excited to see what the people will say about this one.
Literally any of these people winning, I'd be like, yep, I can see that.
All of them have a very unique brand where if somebody's wearing something even like similar to that, you'll know right away, like, oh yeah, that's very Taya or that's very Bianca. So it's kind of cool that they each have their own style and their own brand that people can cosplay off of it.
That's so Taya.
The next category is Outstanding Wrestler of the Year. So this is a category where we're looking into the wrestling skills. Io Shirai.
Jordan Grace.
Mercedes Martinez.
Sasha Banks.
Ooh, Sasha Banks lighting up these nominations, by the way.
I mean, she went all the way to Japan to train with Meiko Satomura.
Who's amazing. Oh my gosh. I love her.
Mercedes Martinez, every time I see her, I can't even talk to her. She's like too cool.
She's so cool, but then she'll also go out of her way to put you at ease and make you feel comfortable. And she also, you can just tell she has this like aura of every single wrestler cares what she has to say.
Oh, 100%.
Which is just like, you gotta shout it out. Like, how awesome to be able to wrestle in the ring, but also give like life-changing advice and seminars, and to be able to pass that along is like a whole nother skill set.
The whole story that Sarah just said legit happened to me with Mercedes Martinez. I think she's awesome. I'm actually surprised. I don't want her to quit wrestling yet, but I think she would be an amazing trainer anywhere.
Just put Mercedes Martinez in charge of wrestling and it's gonna be great.
Totally. Agreed.
Let's go to the next category, the best finisher.
Bianca Belair, KOD.
Kiss of Death. Ooh. Charlotte Flair, Figure Eight.
Shazza McKenzie, the Shaztastic Stunner.
And Tessa Blanchard, the Magnum.
Tessa Blanchard's been really putting out cool vibes with like the little jacket and like the aviators and the blaze hair from Streets of Rage.
I'm pretty sure this is a homage to her stepdad, Magnum TA.
Oh, okay. I was thinking condom brand. Or is that a size? I don't know.
That is a brand for larger men.
It doesn't apply to me.
The statistics are that 50% of the people who buy them, it's like you're just...
Oh, we were just talking about figure 8 being so innovative with the reversals lately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime you can do something that's complicated already and then an extra step, I'm always like,
Yeah.
heavens.
I love Shaza. She's my Australian homie. She does the stunner, but into a split.
Yeah.
Which I think is
Such a
so
good split.
cool.
Yeah.
She does that really cute, like,
She's
right?
hardcore.
She knows how to emphasize it.
She does.
And that little skirt flutter, it's just like,
adorable.
girl, you know what you're doing, keep doing it.
All the moves from Bianca Belair is so
powerful. You could legit put any move that Bianca Belair does, even not as a finisher, and it would be amazing.
Yeah. Let's move to best gimmick.
Asuka.
Becky Lynch.
Chris Statlander.
Kylie Ray.
Okay, first of all, gotta shout out that we all did the same. You know it's a good gimmick when everybody's immediately like, we're doing it! I also think that in this year of our Lord 2019, where we stormed Area 51 and then got Chris Statlander.
We saved her, yeah.
We
Thank
saved
you.
her. Wrestling
Yeah.
saved her.
I love her cartwheels.
Yes. Might have like a different alien name, but like, so impressive.
It
And
was-
she looks like an athlete. Like, I'm glad she's in wrestling,
Yeah.
but I feel like she would be amazing in any sport that she picked.
Stunt.
Yeah, and
Stunts.
totally makes sense. When I looked it up, I'm like, oh, she was a stunt woman. I respect your
Alien race.
alien kind.
Every time I do a promo with her, it's me like trying to like break through and communicate, and it almost always ends with one of her fingers fully up my nose. We're trying to communicate.
Maybe that's a way of showing appreciation in the alien world.
Maybe that's alien flirting.
I hope so. Ooh, even better.
Of course, the man.
I mean,
There's nothing to say about it.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
the man. The Marquee Awards.
I'm doing the lights.
So the best champion.
Becky Lynch, Raw Women's Champion.
Nicole Savoy, Shimmer Champion.
Shayna Baszler, NXT Women's Champion.
Taya Valkyrie, Impact Knockouts Champion.
Shimmer Champion.
Is that her entrance theme song?
It is.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that would be great. I'll record it though if she wants
Yeah.
it.
Shayna and Taya, they've been champion for a while.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, and that confidence that comes from like, I got the belt, I've defended it. I think this is going to be my belt for a long time. That's like a cool energy to emit.
And Becky Lynch, the Raw champion.
Could be Becky 3 belts soon. We don't know.
Oh no, don't jinx it. Let's go to the Feud of the Year. Big Swole versus Joy Lucas.
Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey.
Shayna Baszler versus Rhea Ripley.
And Tessa Blanchard versus Sami Callihan.
Ooh, Sammy making a dude's debut on the ladies list.
I know. This was a little controversial pick, but that story was just so good.
Undeniable, and that's why I made the list.
It's keep going.
Totally.
Yeah.
And plus setting up Tessa challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship at Impact. So I think it's definitely meaningful.
Shayna Baszler versus Rhea Ripley still going on.
And intensifying every week. If you sat me in a room and made me think of like two badasses, I feel like those are two that I would come up with in my brain. They're so scary and they're so good at what they do, and I just like seeing them fight.
Also really cool that the Shimmer is being represented in a couple of these categories.
Zoe Lucas is extremely difficult, and she makes you feel very self-conscious when she's nearby because she's like mean and snippy and snarky and beautiful.
She has the cutest 8x10, but she's like such a great heel. Like she has almost like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader 8x10 because she's like in a split and smiling all nicely. And then you see her in the ring, she's like, but you look so nice.
And Big Swole, of course, had a really good year in 2019. And of course, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey, the marquee feud of WWE.
It's anybody's feud to win.
Dun dun dun.
Ronda Rousey saying that everybody was idiots because wrestling's fake. Championship moment, Ronda.
Next category, segment of the year. Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair get arrested. That was a good one.
That was cool.
There are so many freaking iconic moments.
Yeah.
Like Ronda driving,
Mean
Charlotte's 1-2 steps.
Yeah.
Mud shots.
Sasha Banks returns, attacks Natalia.
The wig reveal.
Huge.
Snap.
The Drag Race and WWE coming together moment. Yeah.
That was amazing. I'm
We
so glad.
joined wigs that night. The Kabuki Warriors turn on Paige. Not turn on Paige. Turn on Paige.
Yeah.
But I'd be equally interested in that.
Turning the page.
Trish Stratus challenging Charlotte Flair for SummerSlam match. Ugh, and I was crying.
Of course.
Queens.
Yeah.
Totally. The epitome of queens.
What a passing of torch moment. Loved
So
it.
beautiful.
We are in the Match of the Year category, so Independent Match of the Year. Nicole Matthews versus Nicole Savoy, The Summit.
Kylie Rae versus Mercedes Martinez, Rise Legendary.
Another appearance by Mercedes Martinez, this time versus Chris Statlander at Beyond Wrestling's Uncharted Territory.
Jordan Grace versus Miko Satomura, Progress Wrestling. You legit, you could have Mercedes Martinez in every single category.
If there's not a wrestler you could name versus Mercedes Martinez that I wouldn't be like, say what? I'm listening. I'm watching.
I've seen the Rise match, the chemistry between Kylie Rae and Mercedes, like such a yin and yang.
And you know that there were some emotional moments backstage that we're not getting to see, but I can just imagine how much respect they showed to one another, and it's making me emotional thinking about it.
Battle of the Nicoles too.
Yes.
That was at Rise too, so that's pretty cool.
Squared Circle Siren team did a really good job coming up with these 4 matches. I'm gonna be a little embarrassed, but I don't follow up with indie too much. So
Yes. I'm just kidding.
That's why we're here. That's why you
I
hired us.
know. I think this is a really good chance for you to go back and watch these matches. These are the marquee matches of the year in the independent scene. Me going to Rise actually this year like really opened my eyes to like the whole indie scene. So check them out.
Indie stars of today are the television champs of tomorrow.
I know.
Wow, what a great tagline.
I'm just really trying to like do extra good ones just to make you feel like, wow.
Let's go to the match of the year. This
I
is
just want to point out that I bet this was so hard to narrow down the 4.
the first one is Bayley versus Charlotte Flair, Hell in a Cell.
Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai at NXT TakeOver Toronto.
Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch, Hell in a Cell.
And NXT Women's War Games.
That's
a good
war.
time.
These are all stellar matches.
Yeah, any one of these, if you were to bring someone over who hadn't seen wrestling before, put on any one of these matches, they would find something to like or ask questions about, and then like after they find out what the heck's going on.
Agreed. That's a very good point. And also shout out to NXT for being 2 matches on there.
This has been an exceptional year for NXT, getting the spotlight, getting to be part
That's
of
true.
Survivor Series, and then going head to head with AEW. Like, what a time to be at the Performance Center.
Yeah. This year had really, really good matches. I feel like a lot of people will have different opinions about what the best match of the year
for
this is.
sure.
I'm surprised that Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks is not in here. And where is my Trish? Just kidding. Like my inner troll is coming out. Where's my Trish Stratus versus Charlotte Flair?
It's right here.
In my heart. Yeah. These are all really 4 great matches. So yeah, let us know what your favorite match of the year is. So we've got promotion of the year categories. For the indie scene, we have Beyond Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Eve, Rise, and Shimmer. For the promotion of the year mainstream, we have All Elite Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Wow Women of Wrestling, and WWE.
That little ma and pop shop made it, WWE. Proud of them.
Vince and Linda. The mom and pop.
Grampy Vince and Auntie Linda.
Did I tell you when I was working in WWE, the girl that started working with me, and I talked a lot of shit to her. I was living in some like Craigslist shit place, and then she was living with her uncle and aunt in Connecticut. Turns out it's Vince and Linda. And I was like, shit.
You're over here probably talking all this shit.
And it was Unky Vince to her.
Yeah, it really was. Let's go to Tag Team of the Year.
Bird and the Bees.
And the Kabuki Warriors.
And Team Sea Stars.
Is that what they do?
They're mermaidy.
I know, but I'm like, I hope this is what they do.
I just thought I'd make an
I
ocean
like
for
them.
them because I like them, yeah. If they don't do it, here you
They
go, that's free. Again, this is a great mix of what's going on out in the indie scene versus what's going on television. Honestly, if you mixed and matched these teams, any combination, that's like a big money match. That would be like a
That
good
would
feeling.
be so fun.
I always have this idea that once a year they should do the wrestling purge and promotion rules go out the window and anyone that could
Okay.
just like snatch people up and book, and it was just like 24 hours of matches, cross promotion, intergender, anything goes, and then we go back to the rules the next day.
Like if nothing happened.
As long as nobody dies, I'm good.
Nobody's gonna die, but the matches are gonna kill.
We're in the big 2 category, the Indie Wrestler of the Year.
Paloma Star.
Just kidding. Maybe next year.
Chris Statlander,
Mercedes Martinez,
Nicole Savoy,
and Shotzi Blackheart. I just checked again. I was like, Indie Wrestler of the Year just barely made it in because that gal is in WWE's Performance Center. Oh, and Chris is AEW. This is wild. Snap, snap, snap. Indie Wrestler leads to television the next day.
And it's awesome that there's so many to choose from now. Like, these 4 women are great, but there's so many more that could have been there and been just as good as well.
The last category we have is Women of the Year.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bailey,
Becky Lynch,
Shayna Baszler,
Tessa Blanchard.
All of these women I would not want to try and fight because I know they would win.
Damn, this is a tough one.
It really is. I can't even remember when the Man Revolution character started.
Yeah.
It was a little over a year ago.
She started that story around last SummerSlam. That's when Ring the Bell started, I think.
Really?
Yeah, the 2018 SummerSlam. But yeah, Tessa Blanchard, what a year she had.
Seriously.
Yeah, I feel like she's always done such a good job just like tunnel vision on becoming the best she can be, fighting who she wants to fight, doing it her way, and the fact that it got her noticed to be in the Women of the Year with all these women who are on a major wrestling company TV every week. Like, she's just got a very different set of circumstances than them, and it's cool to see that she kind of like clawed her way into this category.
She's just really breaking down the barrier. Bailey, she had a great year. She won the Money in the Bank, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship in Elimination Chamber February, SmackDown Championship winner multiple time, the heel turn that got everyone talking.
I mean, she's the first Grand Slam women wrestler, which I think is awesome, which means she's won every women's champion, every belt that you could win in WWE, which is great.
One of the biggest championships that she's won of all is a friendship with Sasha Banks. I love you. That just won't quit.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Of course, Shayna Baszler. We can obviously tell that WWE is pushing her, mega pushing her. She closed the Survivor Series, the Big Four. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And just the way that she's held it down, being in that position, having that target on your back, and just she's never looking like she's scared, and the way that she carries herself is different than everybody else, and she's got this like grit and glory that I feel like you can't teach. Like, it just comes from her soul.
And she can legit kick anybody's ass in the back.
But she's a nice person, I'm sure.
She is. She's actually really funny.
That is all the categories for this year's awards. So exciting. And I really like going through them because it kind of made us think about the whole year. And this was a great year.
Did
Did you feel like it was a good year for you, personally?
There was a lot of ups and downs.
I think we could all kind of summarize the year. Like, if anybody who says, I had one great year and no downs, that's a person that you should not trust with any of your items or personal belongings because they're a liar.
There were a lot of changes even to Ring the Bell, but I'm very grateful that everything happened. I met you.
Yeah, and I live, like, just down the street.
Nope.
Oh, and Paloma got engaged this year.
And the championship.
You know, just gonna pull it out here real quick.
Thank you so much for spending this year with us, the Ring the Bell family. And where can we find you, Sarah?
On Twitter at Sarah Joy Shockey, and you can listen to Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling every Thursday on the MLW Radio Network.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Paloma Star.
And you can find me at DS Shin. The voting ends in December 21st, so go down to the link down below and vote for your favorite woman. Vote for the rightful winner right now.
The power's in your hands.
Bye.
Bye.